not a bad pick. It's one of about a bajillion that my cousin Rob left at the house. Hey, good afternoon, Earthlings. It's been a couple of months since I posted, and there's good reason for that. In fact, that's why earlier in the week on Facebook I posted to the people that have been following this that I was going to make a video post this week. So short and sweet. The reason I haven't posted anything, there are a few in the last several weeks, is one, there's not really been a whole lot significant in terms of change to report on the project. Don't get me wrong, work's been happening. I continue to tweak things on the guitar, and I've written out drum pieces, at least on paper, so that I don't forget the ideas that I've had. Lyrical tweaks. I don't think I tweet. I don't even know what tweeting is. And I have actually set out to do a couple of videos. In fact, Nick and I, who you met in a previous video, did a video, and when I went back and looked at it, there wasn't really anything significant to report. What we did was we set out to do some demoing, because we are at that point. And he had some equipment failure, and we just haven't gotten around to getting back together with repaired equipment or new equipment, and I'll say something about that in a few minutes, to do the demoing. The other thing that's kind of caused a delay in the project is that I have a career. As I mentioned in one of the early videos, this isn't what I do full time. And sometimes it's frustrating, because when you're a musician and you care about whatever it is that you're working on, you want to spend all the time you possibly can doing music, but that's just not how the world works. So you're working 45 to 60 hours a week. 60 is a really bad week, and when you get home in the afternoons, you're pretty much demolished. This stays on the couch with me, so I'm always doing something, and I'm always thinking about something for this project. And a lot of that gets recorded, but it's nothing that would have needed to get reported to you guys. And then last but not least, I'm personally lacking several pieces of equipment. Again, I've spoken about that in previous videos, and a lot of it has had to do with time to put into going and finding the things that I need to actually do the album. So digital interfaces and some software and instrument upgrades, and those are all things that my wife and I are actively working on. But if you don't have them, there's really nothing that you can do besides continue working on your existing instruments. This and the drum kit, which you've seen before. So I do. I keep make the most of my time, and when there is something significant to report, I certainly will. But all that said, that comes down to there's been delays in kind of where I wanted to be, or at least had in my head that I wanted to be on this project, and where I actually am. No major effect, really. It's just I wanted to be a little bit further, and that's sort of personally frustrating. But that's what it's like, when you're a musician or you're an artist. Even when you have in the back of your mind that what it is that you're working on might be complete crap, the world at large might not find it as good or as important as you think it is in your head. It's still important to you to express yourself, which is why I decided to do this in the first place. So all the delays and needing to make those important responsibilities that adults have the priority over finishing or making a whole lot more ground on this huge smash hit rock and roll project. All those things that get in the way of doing it, they get to be frustrating and disheartening. In fact, a couple weeks back, I was so frustrated about it that I was thinking about putting it on the back burner. I'm like, why am I even bothering doing this? I'm not going to be able to do this. I need to focus on the things that I'm supposed to be focusing on, being a good employee and being a good family guy. Well, I'm going to continue doing those. But I was so disheartened that I was thinking about stopping, and my wife just stepped in and said, don't be a bonehead. Of course, it was a little bit more colorful than that, but she really said, no, you got to do this. and it's not even an option anymore. This is just, you have to do this. This is, whether it goes anywhere or not, this is the thing that you got to do. This is your art. This is your form of expression. And I say all of that to say this, that for those of you that are musicians, that have set out to create your original work, or it doesn't even have to be a musician, painters, sketch artists, sculptors, artists, craftspeople, it really pays. I don't even know if the word is pays. It's so important to have people in your life that are supportive and that are with you along the way. A lot of times when you see musicians giving interviews, it's when they've made it somewhere, that they go back and they say, and I want to thank this person in my life for always being so supportive. And so it's a little change of pace. I just want to make sure that for all the people that have been so encouraging, especially my wife, who puts up with an awful lot from this kind of crazy musician, that I'm thanking them along the way. It's kind of a thankless job, especially for spouses who have a musician in the house who goes upstairs and beats the crap out of drums when you maybe want some quiet in the evenings. It's a special kind of person that can put up with that. So for what is probably one of many speed bumps where I get disheartened, and for all the times that maybe you just wanted to watch TV and not listen to me noodle on the guitar, I wanted to say thank you. And I appreciate the encouragement. And I know that all of us that are musicians and artists who have dual identities as functioning employed adults, I know we all feel that way about the people in our lives that are supportive to us. So what all that means is, so I had a rough spot, got through it. Things at work I think are going to continue to be busy. There's not really much of a change in time management. It's just, all right, when I get around to it here, and I have a plan, pick up the equipment that I need and start recording this stuff, and then getting it off to my good friend Nick, so he can start listening to it and give me some ideas when we actually go into the studio and do an actual recording. I've reached out to one or two of my collaborators, and started giving them ideas about things that are going to be on this album, and there's more on that coming up. Hopefully, I'm going to have one or two of them in some upcoming videos, so that you can get to know the folks that I'm working with. The last thing I'm going to say, and then I'll quit yammering, is I'm nervous about vocals. So let's do some live action, unrehearsed venting. My current plan is to actually do singing for the lyrics that I've written, and then have some backing vocals that are way more talented than I am. But that continues to make me nervous. I know that with a lot of the modern recording equipment, even somebody who sounds as horrible as I do could probably sound okay, but that's not really what I'm going for. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it anyway. And if it works, okay, great. If it doesn't work, I'm going to need a vocalist, somebody who can emote through their voice what it is that I'm trying to express in this project. So it's a little vent session there. And I'm about to sign off, but I wanted to say one last time, thank you guys for sticking with me. Thank you to all the people that continue to support me on this project. This pretty meaningful stuff. And perhaps in the next couple of posts, I'll do kind of a reveal, so you'll get a little idea of the content and why I'm so kind of emotionally staked in this. But for now, thank you all. I hope everybody has a really good week. And if you don't see me for a couple of weeks, I hope you have a good couple of weeks. And we'll be talking soon. So thanks very much. Carry on.